about humanity.
Strong Bitcoin hand, people. Strong Bitcoin hand. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are coming in from. I'm Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master. This is the Bullish Bitcoin channel, the alternative BBC. Today is Thursday, the 13th of November, 2025. Once more, strong Bitcoin hand. You know what? Nobody likes to see the price dip, but you know what? It is what it is. And if you can't stand the volatility, get out of the kitchen, because Bitcoin is blooming volatile. And I'll tell you what, it can tie your stomach in knots. But we can't change what it's going to do. We just have to stack sats, hang on in there, and all will be good. If you are finding my channel for the very first time, I implore you, don't come looking for financial advice, price predictions, charts, technical analysis. You're not going to find it. Do your own research. That is the name of the game. And then you only invest if you're the one that can deal with it if it goes down or if you lose. You only lose, by the way, if you sell out. So never sell your Bitcoin. A very quick shout out. You should follow me somewhere else. In the show notes, there's a link. It will take you here. You can see at the bottom there, it says Rumble, UK Bitcoin Master 1. This is live on Rumble as we speak as well. You can follow me on my UK Bitcoiner backup channel that is dormant unless this one gets taken down again, which it definitely could. So it is worth being subscribed somewhere else. Shout out to show sponsor number one, the best of Exmoor. They are a holiday company here in the UK. Top left, you can see they are also Bitcoiners. Phenomenal portfolio of around 200 holiday cottages in a beautiful part of the UK called Exmoor National Park. They have got something in there for everyone. And because they are Bitcoiners, I implore Bitcoiners to show them a bit of love. Scan the QR code on the screen or click in the link, the link in the show notes, and they will see that you have come from this show, even if you're just looking around and checking out what is there. If you are looking for holidays, I'm telling you now, look at the TripAdvisor reviews. They are up around 9.5 to 10 out of 10, which is absolutely incredible. Okay, so who have we got in the chat? Let's have a look. See if we got Chelsea Baz is with us. Good to see you as always, buddy. BitcoinMeister Utah in the house. Thanks for your support, Adam. Stephen O'Neill, chill out, dude. All will be good, I can tell you. We've got Elaine, Mrs. UK is definitely in the house. She's downstairs. I know, joke's wearing thin now. Justin Dizzy is with us. Barefoot Barry, New Zealand in the house. Barry, always a pleasure to have you in the house. And it's an even bigger pleasure to have superb Pastor Phil Volman with us. Phil, it is great to see you live. We very rarely see you live, and it's lovely to see you in the chat. We've got MTG London. Good to see you. Yorkie Bitcoiner has joined us. Mr. 60s in the house. Wow, they're all joining us live. We've got It's Just a Ride in the house live now. Good to see you. I won't dox your name, but you know I know who you are. Janet Yellen's Liquidity is with us as well. Okay, people, pound the like button. Tweet this out, share it where you watch, share it where you listen, because I'm going to show some information today that shows we are in the right place in Bitcoin and we front run all the behemoths. Who else did I just see? Big GF has just joined us. Welcome. Good to see everyone. Okay, I need to get on with the show. There's a lot to get through tonight. So without further ado, let's get into it. And here we go. Right. Whoops, that's the wrong one. There we go. Oh, no, it's not. There we go. Okay, so here's the thing. I keep hearing all the time, you know, China's doing gold, China's stacking gold like it's going out of fashion. The US is stacking Bitcoin or not stacking Bitcoin or making Bitcoin, you know, the US being the Bitcoin hub of the world, whatever it is, whatever the narrative they are spinning. Here's the thing. Why would China be so worried that and accuse the US of masterminding a 13 billion Bitcoin theft in escalating cyber fraud. Let's have a look. China's cybersecurity agency is accusing the US government of masterminding a 13 billion Bitcoin theft from the Lubian mining pool. American authorities say the seized assets belong to Chen Zi, chairman of Cambodia's Prince Group. US prosecutors charged Chen in October with wire fraud and money laundering, declining to detail how or when they obtained the Bitcoin. However, China describes the incident as a black eats black tactic, suggesting the US hacked Chen's holdings as early as 2020. Okay, what is my take from all of that? Why is China worried about that if they're storing the gold that they're storing? It is because they may have banned Bitcoin mining many times over and had egg on their face, but they always come back to the table, and maybe, just maybe, they're starting to realize that Bitcoin is the future and perhaps the gold that they've been storing isn't. I don't know. This is just me sounding off. My brain doesn't shut off, which is, it stops me sleeping at night. There's so much rattling around in this pea-sized brain of mine. I'm just simply saying, if they are after the gold and they want to have the biggest gold reserves on earth, why are they worried about what the US is doing with Bitcoin? Why? Because they know what is coming. That's just my take. Okay. Here's another one, and this only came out this morning, so I updated the show. Britain's richest young entrepreneur prepares to quit the UK for Dubai. Herman Narula, the chief exec of the 2.5 billion tech company Improbable, said he was preparing to emigrate to the United Arab Emirates over reports that Ms. Rachel Reeves intended to unleash a so-called settling up charge on entrepreneurs. Mr. Narula, who is Britain's richest self-made entrepreneur aged under 40, told The Telegraph, "I don't particularly want to leave the UK, but I might want to one day, and I don't want to be banned from that option. The mooted tax would fall on capital gains when a wealthy individual leaves the UK and takes up residency elsewhere. It is intended to stop high net worth individuals from avoiding paying taxes by shifting their wealth to a low tax jurisdiction." What is my take on that again? Something like 16,500 high net worth individuals are going to leave. Many of them already have the UK by the end of 2025. What does that mean? I don't know. You've got idiotic people out there on Twitter saying, yeah, good riddance to the rich, let them go. What they fail to understand is the rich pay most of the taxes. If the rich disappear, then that is all, the burden of that is all going to fall on the poorer end of the spectrum, and those poor people are going to get even poorer. And I see this stupid narrative out there all the time. Good riddance, let them go, let's get the hell out. You know why? Because people are entrenched in this. We need to take from the rich and give to us. We sit on our fat asses and do absolutely nothing at all, but we deserve some of the richest money. No, you freaking well don't. Those people that have worked hard and built something up, why the hell, when they've worked all the hours God sent, probably sacrificed family time and a lot of other time, why the hell should they give you, couch potato, who sits on your fat ass watching television and drinking your pop and smoking your cigarettes and living on benefits? Why should you take their hard-earned money? It just infuriates me. My apologies, people. It really does rattle me. Okay, here we go again. Back over to the desktop again. Czech central bank buys $1 million in Bitcoin, and it says other crypto assets for testing. This has only come out again today, November the 13th. Prague, from Reuters, no less. The Czech central bank said on Thursday it had bought $1 million of Bitcoin and other blockchain-based digital assets to gain experience with digital markets and will evaluate the project in 2 to 3 years. The portfolio is mostly made up of Bitcoin, or Bitcoins, you could say, I guess, but also includes US dollar-based stablecoins and a tokenized deposit, all bought through a regulated exchange, it said, without giving specifics on the market used or exact assets. Quote, the purpose of the portfolio is to gain practical experience with holding digital assets and to implement and test the necessary related process, the bank said. So, dipping their toe in the water. Why? Because they're all starting to fear of missing out. Okay, here's another big announcement. This is a day or two old now. SoFi, massive banking giant SoFi, becomes the first federally chartered US bank to add crypto trading, Bitcoin, and those other crappy names we won't go into. SoFi Technologies, NASDAQ listed SoFi, no less, has unveiled SoFi Crypto, beginning the first federally chartered US bank to offer in-app cryptocurrency trading directly to consumers. Tracing back to 2023, Crypto News Flash reported that ARK Invest made a notable $1.5 million investment in SoFi Technologies, the online banking company. As announced on November the 11th, the new platform allows users to buy, sell, and hold dozens of cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin and the other nameless ones I don't want to talk about. Okay, seamless alongside the FDIC insured checking, savings, borrowing, and investing services. This integrate marks a pivotal shift, transforming SoFi's app into a true one-stop shop for modern finance. It is all out there, people, and it is happening. It doesn't stop there. We heard a few days ago that Square, Jack Dorsey's Square, activates Bitcoin terminals for 4 million merchants, marking them on the map. Bitcoin has just taken a big step towards everyday use. Square, the payments company owned by Jack Dorsey's Block Inc., is now letting more than 4 million US merchants accept Bitcoin payments through their Square checkout systems. With the new Square Bitcoin terminals, the customers can now buy things like coffee, clothes, or haircuts using Bitcoin, while merchants can choose to keep the money as Bitcoin or have it automatically converted into US dollars. The feature is powered by the Lightning Network, a Bitcoin technology that makes transactions fast and cheap. Oh, you can't buy coffee with Bitcoin is the age-old narrative that is still going on out there. For now, Square says there will be no processing fees till at least 2027, giving businesses a few years to try the new system for free. So, there's 3, high-ticket news articles, crikey, newsworthy articles. And I'll tell you what, the dominoes one by one will fall and more will adopt this thing, I can tell you. Here's one from the Bitcoin historian. Just in, 36 billion SoFi, we're back to SoFi, just announced live on CNBC they will launch Bitcoin trading to all customers. So the reason for this is because I wanted you to hear from the horse's mouth, the CEO of SoFi, and why this is so important and why they're doing it.
Nice to see you, sir, in person. Good to see you as well. Okay, so what's going on here? This is a big deal. Yeah, this morning, it is a very big deal. It's a big day, a big milestone. Reverses the course of time. It does. We've wanted to be a one-stop shop for all your financial services needs, and one of the holes we've had for the last 2 years was in cryptocurrency, the ability to buy, sell, and hold crypto. We were not allowed to do that as a bank. It was not permissible. But in March of this year, the OCC came out with an interpretive letter. It's now permissible for banks like SoFi to offer cryptocurrency. So this morning we're launching as the only national bank, the first and only national bank, the opportunity to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So I was going to ask, if we're just talking about 3 for now? We'll expand well beyond 3. It'll be a pretty broad assortment. We try to differentiate on being fast, having broad selection, great prices, ease of use. So we'll try to give SoFi members, as much selection as they would like. And what's the difference between going through you and going through Coinbase or going through Robinhood or somebody else? Yeah, there's a couple of really big differences. First, we're a nationally chartered bank, which means we have the infrastructure, the processes, the financial conditions that provides the safeguards that a consumer would expect from a bank, which is going to be responsibly. The second thing is because we are a one-stop shop, you can do all your banking, checking, and savings at SoFi.
Let me just get rid of this. We're live. Hang on, I'm trying to stop this damn video. Okay, I've moved it on. You've got no audio, and for some reason, I've just looked down and it says my audio is not muted, so I don't know why you've got no audio. Anyway, thank you for that, guys. Yeah, I can see you all putting in the chat no audio. Look, that just proves this damn thing's live. It just proves that I'm not a professional podcaster. I'm just some guy from the UK trying to bring you, information, data, whatever it might be that helps you keep your strong hand, particularly as Bitcoin's down to 99,300 at the moment. You know, that's the negative. The positive is you're over 1,000 sats per dollar right now, which is, that's the good thing. If you understand Bitcoin, you want the price to drop so you can pick up more sats cheaper. If you're freaking out about it, you don't understand. You're measuring Bitcoin in fiat currencies where you want to start measuring what you can buy in Bitcoin terms. You know, we've shown this, the age-old how much of a shopping trolley full and what it cost you, what you got for $100, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and today, if you're measuring it in dollars, but what that would buy you in Bitcoin terms. So somebody also put, I believe it was Mr. 60, put something in the chat talking about Revolut do that in the UK. I'm not sure if Revolut are in the same bucket as a traditional bank like SoFi. Revolut are I don't know what they call them, shadow banks or internet banks. I don't think that is exactly the same as a US bank like SoFi. Might be wrong, but I don't think it is, because with SoFi, I believe, I might be wrong. No, I'm not going to get into it in case I mess it all up. But I take your point, Mr. 60, but I don't think it's exact. I don't think it's the same. I really don't. We need to move on. Okay, what else have we got? 61% of institutions plan to boost crypto exposure despite the October crash, says Signum. Over 61% of institutions plan to increase their crypto investments, while 55% hold a bullish short-term outlook, Swiss crypto banking group Signum said in a report released on Tuesday. The survey covered 1,000 institutional investors globally, and roughly 73% of surveyed institutions are investing in crypto due to expectations of higher future returns, despite the industry still recovering from the record 20 billion market crash at the beginning of October. So, point there, back to me. Institutions are bullish, your regular plebs are bearish and fearful. It's all going to crap. It's all going wrong. No, it isn't, people. If you understand as a regular pleb and you're holding strong, and those institutions, 70% of them are bullish and they're going to want to buy more, you are crazy. It means you're sat watching your telly or whatever you're doing, or working long hours, and you're not deep enough down the rabbit hole and learning this stuff. Look, I've got a pea-sized brain, but what I lack in brain power, I make up in a willingness to get on those podcasts and learn, even though it hurts my head. And if you're not prepared to do that, then you're going to freak out every time Bitcoin drops. You know what? I'm 67 years of age, middle of next year, and I'm so bullish on where Bitcoin is going over the medium to long term. Can I be bearish over the day-to-day price? Of course. Does it bother me? No, it doesn't. Do I point it out to my lovely wife saying the price is down again? Yes, I do. I'm human, like anybody else. When you watch, zeros being wiped off your portfolio, but it's only wiped off if you sell it. It's not wiped off if you watch it go down and then you watch it rebound back again. And that's where you got to get to. And that's why you got to watch loads of podcasts so you can really start to grasp this stuff. I now watch podcasts where people like James Lavish are talking, and Dave Weisberger and others, to try and understand what is going on out there in the wider macro world, how it affects everything, including Bitcoin, and that helps me to stay stable and keep my feet firmly on the ground. Okay, back over here, we're not done yet. Institutions stay bullish on Bitcoin as retail capitulates. Bitwise CEO sees crypto rally ahead. Bitwise CEO Matt Hogan says the crypto market may be nearing a turning point as retail exhaustion deepens and institutional demand quietly builds. So the regular plebs are getting fed up, but the institutions, they've done the research, they get it, and they're bullish, they're digging in, and they're buying more. So you want to have a mindset like an institution. Appearing on CNBC, Hogan, who oversees $12 billion in assets at Bitwise, said retail sentiment, you and I, not me, by the way, is at maximum desperation following months of liquidations, leverage blowouts, and yield protocol failures. Quote, it's hard to find a crypto native investor who still has much enthusiasm. Wait. You're looking at one, 8.5 years, and I have got monstrous enthusiasm for Bitcoin and where it is going. So you're looking at one, people. He said the market is close to a bottom. Now, he doesn't know that. Maybe he's looking at all the charts, etc., and that's where he feels it's going, but he doesn't know it. In contrast, Hogan noted that institutional investors, remain upbeat. Quote, when I speak to financial advisors, they're still excited to allocate to an asset class that's delivered strong long-term returns, quote, close quotes, he said, adding that he expects a year-end rally as institutional capital begins to take the lead. Whether it will or whether it won't, I don't know. I'm just bringing you the news. Quick shout out to the former Orange Pill app, now rebranded to Club Orange. You should get on it and try it out, people. It's an app for Bitcoiners. 2 or 3 on there that I can see. Samson Mao, bottom right down there. You've got Natalie Brunel is on there as well. There was a third one I saw a little bit earlier, but my screen's a little bit too small. But there's some big players on Orange Pill app. So if you're new or you haven't tried it yet, use the link in the show notes, or you can see it at the bottom there. And then once you've taken out any type of subscription, even a 1-month trial, they'll give you 5,000 sats for doing so. So use the link in the show notes. Second show sponsor, Robin Thatcher, bottom right, is the owner-founder of Buy the Book Accountancy, also goes by the name of Crypto Tax Help. They're helping UK crypto and Bitcoiners and traditional businesses do their accounts. In January next year, apparently all hell's going to break loose. So you should really, if you're in the UK, book a 30-minute consultation with Robin and ask him if you're up to date and is there anything else you need to do. So shout out to the Bitcoin in crypto, or the crypto tax accountant. I can't remember the flipping name now. But if you do book a consultation, please tell him you came through my channel, so he knows I'm doing my bit to promote his business, because he's a Bitcoiner, by the way. Watch a Guru, I tweeted this one. Love this. UK reform leader Nigel Farage promises to create a Bitcoin reserve if elected Prime Minister. Quote, Bitcoin is scarce, secure, and impossible to flate away. Unlike paper money, Bitcoin cannot be printed into worthlessness, says Farage. Another one. The Bank of England's cap on stablecoin ownership is a poison pill for Britain's financial sector. Britain cannot afford to be left behind, said Farage. What does this tell me? This is almost a playbook of how Trump got in to be president, and maybe Farage is going to get in to be prime minister. We've got a lot of turbulence going on right now, and there's a lot of rumours that there might be some kind of early election. And if that were the case, and reform did get in, I don't know how that's supposed to work, but if they did get in, maybe he's seen what's happened with Trump, and he's thinking, I like this playbook. I'm going to play this playbook as well. But that can only ever be good for us Bitcoiners here in the UK. So we'll see how that one fares. Bitcoin LFG, Taiwan is entering the Bitcoin game. The central bank will plot a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Nation states are waking up. They are waking up one by one. Even with nation state adoption, we'll get a gradually, then suddenly moment where they'll all start to pile in for fear of missing out. Guys, if I may, We've got nearly double the viewers of likes. If you haven't hit the like button, can I please encourage you to do so? I put a lot of time and effort into the channel, and every like is really appreciated. It really is. So if you haven't hit the like button, please consider doing so. Look, Justin Gold surpasses 4,200. This was yesterday. We know normally what happens. Gold runs and then Bitcoin follows a period of time later. Whether it will, whether it won't, I'm not predicting any of it. I'm simply saying when gold runs, Bitcoin tends to follow. Here's one from Simply Bitcoin. Over the last year, 800,000 Bitcoin have been taken off exchanges. More than 118,000 Bitcoin disappeared in the last 30 days alone. The price reaction is going to be violent and nobody's ready. Okay, will it, won't it? I don't know. But if you've got just 450 new Bitcoins being mined a day and you've got 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 a day, institutions, strategy and all the others wanting it, yes, there's going to be the sellers, the OGs that sell. But eventually that is going to dry up and then all hell's going to break loose. When? No one's got a crystal ball. And I certainly haven't. I found this great meme. I think it's brilliant. When we talk about how expensive everything is getting, great conversation around the table. When I mention Bitcoin fixes this, everybody's gone to get more alcohol or more food and they don't want to know. And it is so true. Everyone can see the problem, but few people understand the solution. If you are in Bitcoin, then you've got a pretty good understanding of the solution if you are deep enough down the rabbit hole. Eddie Willers, you've changed the name finally. Awesome. People, you can all go and change your name. It is easy. Like Phil, you can go in and change it to Pastor Phil in your Google account. You change the @ sign, the bit before the after the @ sign, I believe. You should all be changing your name. It's got nothing to do with the UK. I've been on podcasts where the exact same thing is happening with US podcasts. People have said, I'm not commenting anymore, because they've got the @ sign and they can find out who I am. Baloney is happening across the world. So either don't comment anywhere on planet Earth or comment on my channel, comment on other people's channels. I've tested the water. I've gone in and I've gone on US-centric podcasts and I've put a comment in and it puts the @ sign at the front of it. All the American people comment and it puts the @ sign in front of it. It is YouTube, not something going on in the UK, by the way. Sorry, that was just me getting something off my chest because I've done nothing with my YouTube channel. I've changed no settings whatsoever, but for some reason, YouTube have started using the @ sign instead of the name you've given yourself on Google. But you can go in and change it very, very easily. When you go into your YouTube account to join this show, if you click on your picture, top right, or if you haven't got a picture, whatever it is there, it says Google account. Go into your Google account, and I believe you've got the name at the top, and underneath it, there's your @ name. Change that, and it will change it for when you go live. Because if you are in Bitcoin, you should not be putting your first and last name out there, because as Bitcoin goes up in value over time, you're putting a target on your head, on your back. You really are. Okay, let's go back to the show. Found this awesome quote from Alexander Graham Bell. He invented the telephone, I believe. Before anything else, preparation is the key to success. I'm going to give you the 6 Ps. The 7 Ps have got a blasphemous word in, so I'll give you the 6 Ps. Perfect planning and preparation prevents poor performance. So in Bitcoin context, if you don't do any research, if you don't learn anything, if you don't understand when there's an issue with a hardware wallet, or you don't understand what's going on in macro, or you don't understand that a particular company is there's phishing attacks going on, if you're not aware of this stuff, if you don't keep up with it, you can end up losing everything, people. So for me, I love planning and preparation prevents poor performance. Hope you got something from that one. Quick shout out. We've got this Saturday coming up, our 21 million club. It should have been last week, but we had some issues and had to push it forward a week. Dead excited about seeing you guys on the 21 million club. I hope many of you that are in the club can make it. We always have a blast for 2 or 3 hours. Apart from that, I'm done. That's another show under my belt. We're at 98.9. So we are correcting people. So if your mindset's right, this is an incredible buying opportunity for cheap sats, because those sats won't be cheap for long. Even if we go and we plummet, like some people are saying, maybe down another 10, 15, 20%, who knows? Cheap sats will ultimately become really cheap sats when we come out the other side of any correction, if it happens. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. So buy those cheap sats while you can, because we're back over 1,000 sats per dollar. That's it. I'm done. Please retweet this. Please share it where you're watching or listening. I appreciate every one of you. This has gone out on Rumble. I can see Mouse Jerky in the chat. Thank you. Always a fantastic show. That's really appreciated, because sometimes prepping and putting these shows together feels like a thankless task. It really does. But I do it because the overarching emotion for me is, if I stop doing it, there are some noobs that are going to miss this and they're going to go and get scammed by some crappy coin showing crazy growth, which is a pump and dump scheme. So I feel obliged to keep doing it because I want to save noobs. So thank you, Mouse Jerky. I really appreciate what you've just said there. That's it. I'm done, people. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, and the rest of your day, wherever you are. Have a fantastic weekend. For those not on the 21 Million Club, I'll catch you all 6 p.m. on Monday. For those of you on the 21 Million Club, I'll see many of you 8 p.m. on Saturday. Until then, I'm done. Chelsea Baz's awesome song about broken money coming up. I'll catch you all on Monday.